everybody. I welcome you back to session 3 of the Bridge course. So in the last session, we were discussing goal setting. In today's session, we will be looking at role models. Hello everyone. I welcome you back to session 3 of Bridge course 2020. So in the last session, we were discussing about goal setting. I was discussing with you the importance of setting a goal and the importance of having clear milestones so that by the end of the 4th year, you will be in a position to realize your goals. So, in continuation with that topic, today we shall be looking at role models. Why role models are important, how role models can help us to grow and develop in our life, and why you should have clarity on your role models. Well, when you go for your interview, campus interview in the final year, one of the most frequently asked questions that all of you can expect to be asked is, who is your role model? Now, why should we talk about role models in an interview? You may wonder. So in today's session, hopefully, I will be able to answer these questions of yours. So, let's talk about role models. Who is a role model? Well, a role model is, we think, a rare person. But is it true? Are role models always someone whom we think is a superman? Is a role model a superman or a superwoman? Is it some extraordinary personality that we don't see in our everyday life? Well, might not be. So, a role model is someone who can be a part of your everyday life, but someone who inspires you, who encourages you, and who allows you to dream of becoming great, realize your dreams of becoming great, and also someone who helps you to realize your fullest potential in your life. So somebody who can identify what is good, what is positive in you, and help you to attain them or perfect them or strengthen them. This is how role models influence us. When we talk of a role model, we think of someone from whom we can learn. Someone who has inspired us by virtue of their behavior, attitude, their outlook towards the world, and their general way of conducting themselves in this world. So, they teach us, by just being what they are, they teach us a lot of things in our life. So, we learn from their commitment to excellence. For instance, I will be discussing some examples a little later. For instance, your own mother. She gets up at 5 a.m. in the morning. She attends to multifarious tasks at home. She may be a homemaker. She may not be a working professional. But do you think she does anything less than a working professional? She may be doing lot of unthanked and unrecognized service to the family. And all of you, whether it is your father, whether it is you or your siblings, all of you are able to have a smooth and comfortable day's routine thanks to the small sacrifices she makes every day. She shows lot of commitment to the family. So, it is her commitment to the excellence. It need not be excellence only for leading a company. It could be excellence in the day-to-day work of running a family in a smooth way so that all the family members are placed in a comfort zone to conduct their activities on a day-to-day basis. So, that is her commitment to her excellence. Her excellence lies in making your lives comfortable, making your lives productive, making your life smooth and harmonious. So, a role model is someone on a day-to-day basis who shows commitment to excellence in the job or in the work he or she is executing. And these role models are the people who help you in your professional growth as well as your personal growth. Your mother may have contributed so many hundreds of hours into shaping you into what you have become today. So role models help us recognize our own innate qualities and help us by influencing us, by contributing in their own small ways to our personal growth. And a role model is someone whose behavior is imitated by others. That means they are worthy of being emulated. They have certain qualities that sets them apart, that others admire or appreciate and would like to imbibe those same qualities from them. So, role models are people whose behavior is admired and emulated by others. And we trust these people, we rely on the judgment of these people, we trust these people and we look to them for day-to-day advice and guidance. They can be your mentors. There is no hard and fast rule that your mother or your father cannot be your mentor or your role model who give you continuous and regular guidance. So, coming back to the discussion of role model is someone who inspires us, who motivates us, who makes us want to change ourselves. A role model makes us strive for greatness, makes us strive for perfection. A role model is also someone who helps us to see what is the innate talent or qualities that we ourselves possess, and by recognizing those qualities, by helping us to understand our own talents, they may help us in realizing our full potential. And they are the people who help us to recognize what is best in ourselves. Sometimes we ourselves don't know. Like they say in Indian mythology, Hanuman doesn't know his own strength. He was able to carry the Sanjeevani mountain. And it is very often the case with all of us. We ourselves don't know what are the innate qualities we have that could help us to become great or that could help us in becoming successful in our life. So it is a role model, a person who influences us regularly, who helps us to recognize those qualities and perfect them to reach greater heights. A role model is also someone whom we admire, whom we aspire to be like. So, young children, they look up to their parents, they admire their fathers, they admire their mothers because of certain things they are able to demonstrate and show an ability to do. So, role models are people who are in our own family or people who are out there, people who are real or people who are fictitious like in mythology, who may be worthy of being imitated or followed. So, who can be a role model? So, different people have different role models. It depends upon their own priorities. It depends upon their own value system. Different people may have, suppose somebody wants to become a film star. For them, their role model would be, say, Amitabh Bachchan or Aamir Khan or Shah Rukh Khan. If somebody wants to become an entrepreneur, for them, Bill Gates or Steve Jobs may be their role model. Somebody wants to become a statesman, Abdul Kalam may be a role model. People who want to become scientists, Abdul Kalam may be a worthy role model. So, different people have different role models depending upon their own aspirations in life and depending upon their own value system and outlook towards their own life and towards the world. So, everybody may have their own personal choice. Who is their role model and what they would like to become? What is their goal? Yesterday we were discussing about goal setting. Depending upon what is my goal, I may decide to emulate a person who is successful in that arena of activity. So, there's no hard and fast rule that a role model should be the same for everyone. So, a role model, as I said, can be anybody. Okay, it could be a sibling, it could be a friend, it could be a parent, or it could be some of the most influential and life-changing people, like very often our own teachers. So when we go to school, there may be opportunities where we would have admired a particular teacher a lot for a variety of things, and we would have aspired to be like them. Or if your father is a very successful person and a very good human being, you may, after observing him for a long time, you may want to be like him, appreciated and admired by others. So, a role model can be anybody. It could be a successful elder brother who has made it big time, who has become very influential in his life and in society, whom you would aspire to be like. So, it could be a mythological character. Suppose you want to be like Gautam Buddha, you want to be like Arjuna, or you want to be like Yudhishthira, always having a sense of fairness and justice. So, it depends upon your own value system, it depends upon your own priorities in your life. So, role models can be different people for different individuals. So, why do we need a role model? Why should we have a role model? This is the important question. What happens if we don't have a role model? Yesterday session we were discussing about what happens if we don't have a goal. We will have no direction, we will have no meaning. So just like that, if we don't have a role model, we may also not have the direction or the positive orientation to our life. So in that sense, I would say goal setting and choosing a role model are very much intricately woven together. If you want to become something big, something successful in life, you may, I was telling you, choose a mentor. Look for people who have made it successfully in that particular area of activity, and then go on to follow their footsteps and go on to do things like they did in their life. This would be, I think, the right direction for all of you to take. So, why should we have role models? We should have role models so that we have some benchmarks. We have certain standards against which we can measure our own abilities, our own skills, our own values, and if there is a gap, we will know how to bridge that gap and how that particular person has grown in his life, and using the same kind of steps or same kind of path, we may also aspire to grow like them. So, there is a need, in my view, for all of us, okay, when we talk about our characters or about our personalities, we should have a measure, a scale against which we evaluate ourselves, a certain benchmark against which we know where we stand. And this kind of benchmark will help us to understand where exactly we stand at this point of time, and to be like that person, successful person whom we admire and appreciate greatly, what are the things we should be doing. So, if we are crooked, unless we have a scale, we will not know how to straighten ourselves. We will not know how crooked we are. Or if we are short, unless we know, okay, how short we are as against our benchmark, we will not know how to grow. So, a role model serves like a scale, like a benchmark against which we are constantly evaluating ourselves and identifying our deficiencies or shortcomings to overcome them and to grow in our life. So, now coming to the question, who is your role model? Can you think of it for a minute? Who is the one person you admire and you like the most and who serves as your role model? Let us take some time to reflect on it. Can you think about it for a minute? So, who is your role model? There are many people on the screen. I'm sure you can identify all of them. So here is our own Gandhi, I'm sure, whom we all admire and we say he is a Mahatma. He is the father of our nation. And this gentleman here, I'm sure all of you recognize as students of science, Albert Einstein. And who is this? Obviously, Bill Gates. I'm sure all of you recognize him as well. And who is this? Every Indian obviously cannot but help recognizing her. She is, yes, as you all would have already got the answer, Mother Teresa. So, these are the people who are successful, admired by the whole world, and they are universal role models. The whole humanity admires them. But is this person your role model? How has this person helped to shape your life? This is a question you need to ask yourself. These are people, public figures, whom all of us admire, whom all of us love, whom all of us aspire to emulate. But can we become as great as Bill Gates? Probably we feel we are not being realistic. But there are certainly people who can be looked up to. So when I say role model, I don't mean these kind of public figures whom all of us adore, admire and look up to. When I say role model, I want you to identify for yourself who is that one person who has shaped you. So how are we shaped by our role models, whom we have had an opportunity to observe in our lives, be associated with them, related to them, whom we have analyzed, whose actions and whose deeds we have analyzed from time to time, evaluated to learn something from them, whom we have known and learned something from them, and whom we follow and who have inspired us, and with whom we have a certain emotion attached to. For instance, your high school teacher, your mother, your father, your successful uncle, aunt, or your elder brother, these are the people who would have created some sense of admiration and very close emotion towards. So, when I say role models, I mean somebody with whom you have been associated, with whom you have worked, with whom you have lived, with whom you have had experiences, to see them in action, understand them, and then learn something from them. So, as I already told you, it could be your mother. I started the session with a discussion of role model as mother. So you may say, east or west, she is the one single person who is unmatched, the one person who surpasses all the rest. So many of my students, when I ask them in the initial class in the bridge course, many of them come up and say, I admire my mother the most. She is the role model. She is the person who has had most influence on me. Or I admire my dad a lot because he is so courageous and he is so helpful. He is so empathetic towards others and he has an excellent sense of time management. He is always punctual. He is very committed towards the work he takes up. So these are the kind of narratives many students come up and give in my class. So yes, there is no reason why your mother should not be your role model or your father should not be your role model. It is perfectly fine to have your mother or father as your role models. So now let's discuss and talk about your role model. We shall have a practice session a little later. So when you want to talk about your role model, what will you do? But before we get down to discussing it, let me once again remind you that we are talking about role models And where will you have an opportunity to talk about your role models? Obviously, the job interviews. Like I was telling you yesterday, goal setting, when you go to your HR interview, that is the final phase, final leg of your interview before you get that dream offer of a MNC job. So one of the most frequently asked questions is, who is your role model? What is your goal? What is your long-term goal? What is your short-term goal? Where do you aspire to see yourself 10 years from now? And who is the person, one person who has influenced you and shaped your personality? Can you tell me something about that? These are some of the most frequently asked questions when you go to a job interview or even an interview for an admission into a top university. These are some of the frequently asked questions. Questions on goal setting, questions on role models, questions on tell me something about yourself, which we will be taking up in another session. So, when someone asks you this question, what is the ulterior motive? Why does the HR interviewer want to know who your role model is? How does it matter when it is concerning the job? Well, this is another way of assessing you. So when somebody asks you, who is your role model? Obviously they are trying to, that's a lateral question that they are trying to get a perspective of what kind of values or what kind of things are important for you. And it is also about who you think are important in your life. What is it that you're thinking about, and what are the things or qualities that you value and which you hope to learn from others. So this is one question that will help the interviewer to understand what is your personality type. So psychologists often call it a psychometric question, because when you talk about your role model, you are talking about your significant other, a person who has influenced you, whom you aspire to be like, and whom you would like to follow and imitate to grow in your life or in your profession. So when somebody asks you this question, who is your role model? Please do not take this question lightly. It is a very important question because it gives the other person an insight into your own personality and what kind of things you value in your own personality. So, when someone asks you this question, there are certain steps you might want to follow before you can identify who your role model is, and you can say that this is one person who has changed my life and who has made me into a better human being or a better student or a better professional. So, to identify your role model, I would say the first step is, I would like all of you to reflect and write down all those people who have shaped your life. Think about your school, your early childhood, and try to find out who are all those people who have shaped your life, who have made some significant impact on your life. Okay, it could be a public figure, it could be a mythological character, it could be one of your parents or both parents, it could be your siblings, it could be an uncle, an aunt or a cousin, it could be a friend, and so on. So, who are the people, all those important people who have interacted with you from time to time in the course of your life, and from whom you have had an opportunity to learn by observing, by working with them, by associating with them. So think of all those people. First, I would advise you to list them out one by one. Who are the important people who have shaped your thinking and your outlook towards yourself, towards your goals, towards your life, and towards the world. Then, after having listed out all of them, one by one, okay, your parents, your teachers, your friends, your relatives, or cricket superstars, or film stars, please write them out one by one for yourself, for your own understanding. Then, think of all these people, Which person has influenced you the most? Is it the fifth person? Is this the fifth person? The person who influenced you the most is it Steve Jobs? Is it Steve Jobs? Then, if it is so, of all these people, yes, my parents have definitely contributed a lot to my welfare and lot to my growth and lot to shaping me into who I am. But they may not be my role models. I may want to be something more than them. I want to be something that I want to become an entrepreneur. My parents are both farmers. So I'm possessing the dream of becoming Steve Jobs. So think of the person. If it is Steve Jobs, then where and when you met that person. Obviously, you haven't met Steve Jobs, and he is, of course, no more, sadly. But it need not be physical meeting. It could be you have seen a documentary of Steve Jobs, you have read a book of his, Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish, Stay Hungry, or you might have listened to a convocation speech made by Steve Jobs to graduating students in a university. So when did you first come to know about Steve Jobs? What is the most striking quality that impacted you? What is it that you became impressed about Steve Jobs? And what did you want to know about Steve Jobs after that? So when we first come to know of a person and we get interested and inspired by that person, obviously our curiosity doesn't stop there. We do little more research into that person. We avidly follow that person, whatever are his professional activities. If I am a fan of Virat Kohli, I will choose to watch every single game that Virat Kohli plays. I would want to follow him on a regular basis. So, if I am a fan of Steve Jobs, I would want to read everything that he has written. I would want to read about all his activities, technically or otherwise, that he has done. And this will make me more and more inspired. So, how long have you known that person? Who is that person? When did you first come to know about that person? How long did you know about that person? And then, what are the experiences you had? If you have worked, if it's a real person, you have worked with that person, what kind of experiences did you have? Where did you find that person working, and how did that person impact you and impress you? And what were your experiences of reading about Steve Jobs? How did you feel? What kind of emotions did Steve Jobs stir in you? And what did it make you want to do? How did you feel motivated after learning about Steve Jobs and his life? These are the things we should be thinking about. Then, what aspects or qualities does that person have that sets that person apart from others? Is it Steve Jobs' raw hunger to do something new, to invent new things, his innovative spirit, or his drive to make more money, make more products? What is it that exactly impressed you? What are the few qualities or one most important quality that you want to pick up from that person, and which distinguishes that person from the others? This is something you need to reflect about before you are ready to speak about your role model. Then, what qualities you admire, appreciate in that person, as I already said. So, which qualities did you most feel influenced by? Of Steve Jobs, he may be having many qualities, but there may be 2 or 3 qualities that you find most inspiring and worthy of being emulated. So, what are the qualities that you hope to pick up? Think about it. So, before you start speaking about your role model, these are the few steps you need to follow to identify what you would like to speak upon. Then, as I already said, ask yourself these questions. How? Where did you meet? How did you come to know about that person? When did you get interested? Who is that person? What did he say or do that changed your life? What is the one most important or two most important things that you learned from that person that has made you into a different person or motivated you to change that quality about yourself? So, when you speak about your role model, try to relate with your own experience. When you speak about a role model, it should be a very, very personal kind of account. You should not speak generally. Suppose you are going to talk about Mother Teresa, you can't say my role model is Mother Teresa. You are an engineer. You may admire Mother Teresa for her humanitarian service, for looking after the deprived children of Calcutta slums. But you are not training to become a missionary, or you are not training to become a get into social service, right? So you may admire and appreciate, but what are the things you want to learn from Steve Jobs? What are the things you want to learn from Bill Gates? So you must relate it with your own experience. How learning about that person, reading about that person has changed you for the better. It could be even Mother Teresa. Coming to that, you may say, Mother Teresa has helped me to become more caring and become willing to share with others. When I was in school, I first learned about Mother Teresa, and she inspired me a lot. Her selfless service for the poor people of Calcutta slums has made me into a better human being. From then on, I understood the importance of sharing things with others and caring for others. I became more empathetic towards others, and it has made me in a way a better individual than what I used to be or who I used to be. So whenever you speak about your role model, relate it with your own experience, and your role model would have had an impact on some part of your life. Just as I was saying, I first came to know about Mother Teresa when I was in high school. I read her biography and it was so inspiring. I could not understand that one person, somebody who is a Czechoslovakian nun, came all the way to India and start a missionary home for the poor and the underprivileged, and dedicate her whole life for that cause. That was so inspiring. And I began to look at my own life little more closely, and I thought to myself that I should be at least a little more caring and a little more kind person than what I am right now. So this understanding of Mother Teresa's personality has improved my perspective towards others and has made me a little more kinder human being with a more empathetic nature, and since then I am more compassionate towards my fellow beings. So this is how you need to articulate for yourself what that person has done or said to impact you, and what is the value or what is the quality that you have learned from that person. So when you speak about your role model, it should be a little more personal account of the things that that person has influenced you on. Now, to come back to our topics, so please remember, a role model should be someone who is hardworking. We were just talking about Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Mother Teresa, your mother. All of them have this commitment, hardworking nature. They are creative, they are free thinking. These are the kind of qualities that all of us admire, whether it is Abdul Kalam, whether it is Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Abraham Lincoln, or Bill Gates. All these great people have some universal qualities that makes us admire them. So this is one important point. A role model is someone who is committed, who is selfless in his or her service, is creative, thinks extraordinarily, does not think like the common masses, thinks differently, and does what he or she does differently from what others do, and is also free in thinking. not narrow-minded, not provincial or not limited in their thinking. They think widely and generously. And not only that, they have a clear set of values. Great people are people. Bill Gates, today we talk about him as being one of the richest men in the world. And we admire him more for starting the Melinda Gates Foundation, which does so much of philanthropic work. This Melinda Gates Foundation is a trust which works for malaria research, which works for AIDS research, which gives so much in terms of charity to poor and hungry children in the African continent. So they have a clear set of values. They understand that they are more fortunate than others and they need to help others. So they are empathetic. These are people who are genuine, who have integrity, who are not selfish or self-centered, but who think about others and try to give back something to the society in their own distinct ways. Then they are people who have commitment to the community. They are always thinking of the society and their fellow human beings. They are altruistic, not egoistic, not self-centered or selfish. They think about the others in everything they do. And they have an ability to overcome obstacles against all odds. They do things. So they may have many hurdles and they might have had many issues and problems in their life, but they are able to successfully circumvent them and become who they went on to become. So let us now look at one example. Before I ask you to start your own description of your role model, I am going to give you one example and let's see how we can go about talking about a role model that would sound impressive and that would sound interesting to the listener. The listener could be a recruiter, it could be an admission authority when you go to seek admission in a higher institute of learning. So let's say my role model is Steve Jobs. Then how should I speak about him? What are the things I admire about Steve Jobs? So you can ask the same WH questions. So who is Steve Jobs? Where was he born? Where did he work? Where did he die? What did he do that set him so different and that made him a role model for so many aspiring youth, particularly engineers? So how did he influence you? And what will he be remembered for? So these are some questions you can ask. Where, when, what, when, why, okay? These kind of questions you should pose about Steve Jobs before you set on to describe. So, if I had to tell you about Steve Jobs, I would narrate to you first about his story. I would like to say Steve Jobs is my role model because even without having a college degree, he made a multi-billion company like Apple and who has given a range of products for the world to remember and use. And his life story is so interesting. He was married to an unwed mother and he went to the college, but he dropped out of college. He doesn't even have a college degree. He got bored with college education, dropped out of college, joined a company called Atari, worked there for a short time. Then he went on to start his own company, Apple, in the year 1976. Then what did he do? Before that, yes, after joining Atari, he was for some time jobless. And he also came to India. That's a very interesting thing about Steve Jobs. He has a connect to India. He came to India in the year 1974. Incidentally, when Steve Jobs was studying in the college and dropped out of the college, he did not have any money to feed himself. And it is said that if you read his biography, he says that he used to go to the ISKCON temple every day in the evening where they gave prasad to the devotees. He would go there to get his free meal. He did not even have money to buy himself a sandwich. And he would go to the ISKCON temple every day and have his meals there. And he slowly got interested in Hinduism. He joined the ISKCON followers. He came to India for enlightenment. It is believed that he spent some time in the Himalayas and in Banaras, and then he went back strengthened, spiritually wise, and he founded his company in the year 1976. Subsequently, in 1976, look at the irony. If you read his biography, he was kicked out of his own company. As the company grew, he had investors and he brought so many people onto the company board and they voted him out and he was asked to leave his own company. But having made $1 million company and asked to go out, he did not feel depressed. Look at the fighting spirit that he had. He went on to found his next company, Next. It is called Next in 1985. 1986, he went on to found another company called Pixar. And he sold Pixar in the year 2006 after he returned to Apple. He was again asked to come back. The moment he left the company ran into losses and he was asked to come back and take charge of the company. So this is roughly in a nutshell some biographical information about Steve Jobs. So his story is so interesting. Having come from such a poor background, he became so influential and so wealthy and so popular. But what is it that makes him worthy of being emulated? What is it that makes him so popular with especially budding engineers? He was a go-getter. He had great charisma. He was a great entrepreneur. He was a visionary. He was a visionary who could see which direction current technology is moving to. And he created a whole host of products by which he is remembered today. He created products like, legendary products like Macintosh, iPad, iPod, Apple Notebook, and you speak of it, iPhone, a whole array of gadgets, and he was a pioneer for so many new products. Even he created iMusic, iCamera, okay, with the Macintosh as the platform. He created this and he was a first in many new ventures. So when he created iMusic, he gave Sony a run for their money. Sony company was had the monopoly then, was the market leader. So with his Pixar, with his animation software, with his iMusic, people could now carry millions of bytes of data on a small chip, and people could carry so much music on a small iPhone or a small iPad. And this has created a revolution in the media. So he has been transformational. He has transformed the whole technology landscape, particularly consumer electronics. And these are some of the things he is remembered by. Every budding engineer today who wants to become an entrepreneur dreams of becoming like Steve Jobs. So he is an inspiration and a role model for me. He is an inspiration and role model for many more engineers like me. This is how you can develop your discussion of role model. He was a customer-driven person who could understand the customer needs, anticipate their needs, and evolve a solution for that. That was the greatness. So he was a visionary, as I said. He could see much ahead of his peers or competitors which direction technology is moving to, and he was a step ahead of them. With all these great qualities, he was a go-getter, not someone to sit idle and wait for providence to show him success. He grabbed all the opportunities that came his way. If they did not come his way, he saw to it that he made his own opportunities. That is the greatness of this man. The grit, the sheer will power with which he cracked one after another difficult solutions and gave wonderful new products is something he will be most remembered by. But he had his own failings as well. He was not a picture perfect man. He was seen as an autocratic leader. That means when he wanted something to be done, he would push his people. Some of his employees would give horrifying tales about working in Apple. They would say that it is so stressful. Once the boss wants something to be done, he does not rest. He drives people crazy with the tremendous pressure he puts on people to perform and to meet the timelines. So this is one, he had such tremendous drive and energy to get things done that he was not willing to understand that people or employees would have their own limitations. He was autocratic. In that sense, he was sometimes very dictatorial-like. But on the whole, all said and done, he is a role model who truly inspires all of us, whose words, stay hungry, stay foolish, will be remembered for a long time. And this person has become a technological icon for all of us. So, he is a great role model, wouldn't you say? Now, I would like all of you to sit down and do this exercise for yourself. Write down all those important people who have contributed to your life, shaped your personality and character,